Hi everyone, Chloe DeVita, Chief of Everything with Blog Pause. Want to talk to you today a little bit about why brands even want to work with influencers and the importance behind creating sponsored content. And it's all about the content piece. The main reason brands are really reaching out to influencers now is because the whole marketing landscape is changing a lot, and the idea of creating content is becoming more and more important, not only along the lines of the actual form of it. So sometimes there's written, sometimes it's image, sometimes it's video, but the idea that it lives on. So if you think back, 20 years ago, it was more print and it was advertisements in different places, and it didn't live forever. You don't necessarily keep your newspapers and your magazines forever. Some people do, most don't. So now that we've got this ability to have things living forever and links and ways to actually market the content itself. So, it's not just about marketing out and through influencers, but using the content they create and then again marketing that. And really great brands will do things like that. They'll take it and put it other places, maybe Facebook, doing ads, different ways that they can actually get that content in front of other people. But when you look at the basics, as an influencer working with a brand, you become an extension of their marketing team. They're hiring you and paying you to produce content that's going to help them achieve their marketing goals. So it's a main reason to always be sure you're true to yourself and your audience so that the content you're creating can be trusted, because that's what the brand is looking for, your trusted audience. So if you're working with a brand and you love that brand, you love everything they do, the products they make, that's going to come across in the content you create for them, and it will make it feel trusted to your audience. If you're working with a brand and you don't really have that connection and you're just kind of doing it to do it, often that will come across, and that's not a good place for either one of you. You're not going to represent the brand well in that case, and your audience isn't going to really continue to trust you, because they pick up on those little kinds of things if you're not truly authentic to who you are and who your voice is. So be sure you're keeping your audience in mind and the audience you've built and the trust that you've built with them. And any content that you create for a brand should enforce all of those ideals. They should enforce the trust, the loyalty. Any of your audience members should be like, oh, I can totally see why so-and-so would support that. That makes complete sense. If they're taking away doubt, then think about that, because you want to make sure you're always keeping your audience in mind. The brand itself is going to look to that content and say, is that what I wanted? Did they include the links I was looking for? And they're going to get down to some of the deliverables, so some of the basics. So it's not just the story you tell and the content you create, but what you're delivering through based on what the brand's looking for. If you don't link to the right purchase site, or you don't write the brand's name right, those things come across a little unprofessional, because you're their marketing. If they were to go outside to a PR company and say, create a press release for me on such and such, they're going to review that a few times before it ever hits, anything public. When they're working with influencers, that's usually not the case. You're usually creating it on your own and putting it out there for them. So it's important to do those things right by the brand. And the more you can build up that trust with the brand, you build up that trust with your audience, there's more you can do. You can, one, charge more, market more, grow your audience. And make sure you're building those relationships in every way that you can. So, bottom line, brands want you to be part of their marketing team. That means, owning up to the things that are important to them in their marketing campaign, being sure you're aligned with them, being sure your audience can be aligned with them, and then delivering the best content that you can create and promoting it in a way that you would be proud of if you were the brand hiring somebody to do exactly what you're doing. So I hope that helps kind of build a little bit of a base, because we are looking forward to teaching you and educating you about all, from the bottom up, all the important things, from just, is this brand for me? Does this fit with my audience? How do I even apply for this campaign? Now that I'm picked, how do I think about my content? Once I hit that publish button, how do I promote? This will be a full service course, and we're excited to work with you. Thank you.